Hey guys, welcome back to Cheney's CCG store. Today I have a short market watch for you. I swear I took 2 days off and it feels like things changed drastically. But we're gonna go ahead and dig in and see what's going on. I haven't been taking a couple of days off, so I'm not completely aware of everything that's going on in the market, but I did look at the new set Dimension Force, as well as what was selling a lot of copies and going up in price. So I can cover some of that for you today, and then we'll get into some more detailed market watches going into this week. Ghostville is sitting around 319, really not too bad here. Ideally you'd want to get this for like 300, maybe even 285, but that's really not a bad price if you want it. The Starlight Rare for Therion King Regulus 285. Like I said, I would stay away from it. The Abyss Dragon is like 233. I still think that's not very good. I think that should be like 150. Magnifica around 208, not bad. Kuvature is 90. I have no idea what this card does, to be honest with you. It must be like a lower rarity card in the actual set. Therion King Regulus is $95, which is insane. So this actually is probably not the worst set to open up at this point if you can turn around and sell your singles relatively quickly. If you are going to open it up, or if you already have opened it up, I would get rid of these. I just don't think they're worth $95. It is a really good card, but I guess we'll see, after this weekend what the tournament results are. And where this machine deck stands. The booster box is now 62. Still, that's not too bad. Abyss Dragon, $27. Kind of surprising because it was $25 on release day. I do suspect this will go down over time. There's just not a lot of listings here, so not a lot of this has been opened up yet. Beyond the Pendulum, $22. It's okay. I still think it should be 15. Therion Disc Coliseum is $19, which is absolutely insane. This card was $6 on release day. But yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't buy this engine right now, to be honest with you. It's just too expensive. All right, moving on. Lily Borea, $19, going up to 23 here. This was, I think, 13 or 14 on release day. And people were saying that this had the potential to go up shortly. But like I said, it's pretty crazy to see it go up this quickly. Visa Starfrost, 15 here for the ultra rare sneak peek. I think that's pretty good, honestly. But I would want to pick these up for around $12. The secret rares actually look pretty good as well, so I kind of just want to get the secret rares. Deer Note is at $11. I told you to get these at $3.99. So if you got them, good job. I did get mine, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's only 11 listings left, which is crazy this early in the set's history that there's just no listings available for these things. $9 for Dynamorphia Frenzy. Thatch, if you want to pick this up, it's not a bad time to do so. There is a play set here. Illegal Knight, $9.80. Not bad. I would pick it up if you wanted it. It's not a bad price whatsoever. Psychic Hand Punisher, $9. I mean, I don't think that it's like insane investment or anything like that, but if you want it, I don't think it's a terrible price to get it. Libromancer Fire, $9 to $10 here. I did say if you wanted this, pick it up when it was $5. But yeah, incredible to see this already up in price. I do like the artwork on here. It just kind of looks cool to me. A good looking secret rare. Visa Starfrost around $7.75 here, going up to $8. Again, I think this card's really good. We just have to see an application where it can be used effectively. Magnifica, $6.78. Like I said, I would make sure that you just have these in general for later this year. I do think Exo Sisters will do really good. Rexterm at $3.77, going up to $5 here. I would just go ahead and get them as well, because I don't know if they'll drop much more. And they do have potential to go up a lot more if the deck ends up doing something. Pendulum Dragon, $3.75, going up to $5 here. Nothing crazy back here as far as what I can see. Banishment still hanging on to that $3 to $4 range. Like I said, hopefully you got them at 99 cents on pre-sale. I just kind of had a feeling on this card. And that's pretty much everything that I'm seeing. Starving Venom Dragon at 2 is really good. And Libromancers are, like whatever. But moving on to just the best-selling cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I have noticed a bunch of cards that are really low on listings and going up in price. But we'll just take a look through here of like what's selling. Goes from the past displays, $69. That's about where I expected them. I haven't moved much. Dark Magician Ghost Rare is $3.30 for lightly played. That's really good. If you want to get them, I would go ahead and get them. Just really, really good price there. Theory on King Regal is coming in at number 3 here, which is pretty crazy. Aliber is still hanging on to that 15 range. Blue Eyes 2, 14 for near mint first edition. Wow, that's really good. Assuming these are actually near mint. Branded opening $30 and then bottoming out to like 55 for like a TCG player direct. That is just insane. Very insane to me. We see Masquerade here back up towards the 50 range. That's why I picked up my second copy for like 30, because I kind of figured it wouldn't be going back down. Guardian Chimera 55 here, going up to 60. I would just go ahead and get them. I think they'll go up. I think once we see splites come out, this stuff will start to calm down. I don't think it's going to crash per se, because you'll have splites being probably tier 0, but you'll still see out or branded as like the top competitor against splite, really. Incredible Ecclesia, $74 going up to like 85. Like I said, just insane to me. Like if you ended up buying them when I said to get them at 45 and you just held on through the period where I said to go ahead and sell them because I didn't think they were going to do anything, you know, now's not a time to get rid of these. I got rid of one of mine last week, and I'm considering just getting, I don't know though. I do want to get rid of it for this price point because I think I'll make, you know, quite a bit of money on it. But I just really want to hold on to that card because I really need it for my deck. I think I could cut it and do without it in my deck, but I've just, with the testing, I really enjoy playing this card. But with that being said, I could just cut this card and then play 3 branded opening, and that would be another way to spice up the deck. I just otherwise would refuse to pay $90 for a play set of branded opening. It's just ridiculous. Let's see. Baron de Fleur up towards 130 again. I told you to get this when it was 105 because this is not going to go down anytime soon. And this is the only card holding this legendary duelist Synchro Storm afloat. They're not going to reprint this anytime soon. I don't think so, at least. Water Enchantress 48. I'm surprised this hasn't moved up more with this not getting hit. But at the same time, I think Branded's starting to cut this package, at least if they're smart, they will be. So I don't know if there's any top contenders that are really playing Water Enchantress, especially since we're not seeing base anymore. And I kind of think Sword Soul might be better off without playing the Adventure Token package. 55 to 56 here for the Rite of Aramasir. I mean, to be honest with you, if you're playing just 40 cards, I mean, you probably just don't even need to play 3 and 3. But if you had to choose, Rite of Aramasir is definitely going to be the one that you want to play at 3 copies, whereas I think Water Enchantress you could play at 2 copies or one copy, even just depending on what deck you're running. We already went over that. Crossout Designator at 39 here. Really, really good. I would just go ahead and get them while they're down. Brothers of Legend Forbidden Drop, but these are up to $92 again. So I'm assuming that means the original print is up as well. Phoenix Enforcer back down to 65. Like I said, when it was up at 75, I would have just gone ahead and gotten rid of it because I do think it's going to continue to go down. Red Eyes Black Dragon at 120. Wow. Okay. That's pretty crazy. I would not expected it to go below like the 140 mark, but I guess here we are. Diviner of Herald at 71. Get rid of it. Sword Soul of Moye here. I'm actually going to click into this one because I am very curious what the near mint first edition is going for, because if Ecclesia is up so much, I would imagine this is probably 50 now. So 47. So it's, you know, been chugging along there at 50. Like I said, if you have the Sword Soul core right now and you are not planning on playing it until the Mega Tens, I would offload it. I'm very highly considering it, but I also kind of do want to like switch between Sword Soul and Branded in the meanwhile. So I am kind of sad that I'll have to sell it off, but I kind of think that I just need to go all in on Branded and let the Sword Soul fly for now. Pot of Prosperity at 115, pretty good. I don't know if Dexter's still playing this. Like I said, I think you can get around playing this in Albaz, or Branded rather, if you just play to Alba, or not Alba, I think it's Alba, right? The Shrouded Dragon, because that kind of lets you cycle a little bit and get your Fawn of Albaz to the graveyard, which is super good. I think you can go that route instead of playing this. I think Pot of Prosperity is still better, but if you get caught in a grind game and you're having to get rid of resources from your extra deck, especially if you're banishing 6, I'm imagining you're just doing the 3. It just seems like that could be super dangerous. All right, let's keep moving along here and see if there's anything else going on that's crazy. Cyber Dragon at 95, that's not too bad. Talents at 24. Actually, we'll take a look at the secret talents too to see where that's going, because I know I have me and a bunch of other people are invested into that. 68 on those Ghost Rare Ultimate White Dragons. Structure decks at 14. These are staying pretty solid here. Like I said, I think they're going to stay solid at the 13 to 14 range, and we'll have like slight increases over time, and then it'll skyrocket like within a year's time, I would imagine. Lily Borea is already back up at 25, I think, so it might have just moved up more in the last few minutes here. These are going for 12 lowest. You know, this is something I said you might just want to pick up at 10, but just make sure you have at least a play set of infinite impermanence, if not extras. It's just going to be really, really good long term. I would maybe stay away from golds, but if you want to get golds, that's fine. I think the golds actually do look pretty decent in my opinion. Edge of Chain Commons going up to $10 here. What in the hell? Brandon Red, $7. I told you we would get here. It's really kind of like $6 if you can find a play set here with, you know, the 99-cent shipping and just average that over 3 copies. But we'll take a look here and see what we're dealing with. So you're gonna be paying about $7 per copy here, but you know, shipping included, so that's not too bad. But yeah, that don't be surprised if this is a $10 to $15 card shortly. Like I said, whatever price spikes have to happen before, you know, a couple weeks before the Splite stuff comes out, because once that comes out, it's going to be a game changer. Ashes at 31. Hulk at 364. I would just pick these up because this card's still really good. Like I said, with the punk stuff, this is still very viable. So I would just make sure that you have it. Dark Magician Ghost Rare, I guess it's probably getting some more attention due to like all these recent Ghost Rares. I think this, you know, from last year, it was a lot harder to get a Ghost Rare. So that's why you're seeing those prices so much higher if you didn't understand like why the prices are so low this year comparatively. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon at 78. Like I said, this is fine at any time to sell. I wouldn't be holding this as a long-term investment right now. If you want to hold on to the original version, I would just wait. I would go ahead and sell it now and then wait for the Mega 10 reprints and then decide if you want the original print Starlight or if you want the reprint. Up to you. I think having the original will be good if you can get it for a lot cheaper, especially. Noah Punk Foxy Tune 20. I just got mine in. I was a little nervous because I bought it like 2 days before it got bought out. But the seller did a good thing and went ahead and sent it. So really happy with that. You only need 1 copy. But right now the Punk engine's looking more and more expensive. And I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon. I don't think that Punk is going to necessarily be your, you know, branded level deck, but it's going to be a very competitive synchro based engine if you want to play something different. Archfiend at 58, really good. I know a lot of people are asking me, like, should I keep waiting? I think 58 is fine. Just go ahead and go in. Fright for Patchwork, lowest here is $8 going up. I would stick with the ultra rare if you wanted to get, you know, one of these. There's only ultra rare and a rare, so stay away from the rare. It's just not worth it. Dark Arm at 67, that's just incredible to me. I think that that's pretty good. Wow, Punk is going to be expensive, it looks like. Let's see, keep moving on here. These are at 54 here. Like I said, I think that these are really, really good long-term. Probably one of the best Ghost Rares to get at this price point, besides like Dark Magician Girl, just because you're paying 150 to like 165 for like a play set. And in the future, when this card goes up in price, you can list that play set, and most people aren't going to want to buy 1 copy of this because you have to have 3 for a deck unless they're just getting it for their collection. So you can easily sell that whole play set for that, you know, new price point. Illusion of Chaos 26, I would have them, especially right here at 25 with the 99-cent shipping. When we get that reprint for Magician Souls, yeah, it's not going to be used in base anymore, but I do think that that's still a very good engine to play in certain decks, even if you're not playing Pile. You could just play a smaller engine. Like I was toying around with some of the base decks I was making with running. I was actually playing around with this. I was playing adventure punk, like kind of synchro shenanigans, and I was running the Illusion of Chaos and Magician Souls package, but I was only playing like one Magician Souls, one Illusion of Chaos, and one Preparation of Rites, just because it's more affordable to do it that way. And I only really want 3 ways in my deck to get there. If I don't open it, whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you could play around that if you wanted to. 77 here on these sealed boxes, going up to 86 here. I do think that this is going to be a really good box to have long term. So if you want to get them for 77, I think that's great. Magician Souls, you know, going on for like 50 bucks here still. These just kind of don't get affected even if they don't see play. A lot of people are playing these in different decks, so it doesn't really matter if it's not in the best deck. Flunderies and Advent Adventure, these are up quite a bit towards, you know, 13, bottoming out to 15 here. This deck didn't get touched on the ban list, and I think that it will be a great deck to be playing. Like I said, once we get to the end of today or into tomorrow, I'm going to take a look at the tournament results from over the weekend, see what the breakdown's looking like, and then kind of make an assessment on what cards I think will go up or what cards are overpriced. But like I said, we'll have to see. The new ban list is in effect. So like this weekend is going to be probably one of the most interesting tournament weekends in the last few months. Change of Heart, still way overpriced, sell them. 27 on Small World, not bad, but like we're going into a reprint season, so don't invest into this unless you have to play it, which I don't think that you'd really need to. There's not a lot of decks running it right now, except for like kind of some rogue decks. Divine Arsenal Zeus, 14, that's not too bad. Like I've always said, just make sure you have a couple of copies of Zeus. Doesn't matter what version really, preferably the secret rare or the ultimate rare, or if you really want to ball out, go with Starlight. But the ultra rare is not bad either, because this is a staple card, so it doesn't matter really what you have. If it starts seeing a lot of competitive play, people just want the card. You have, you know, certain categories of people. Some people are just, I just want the card that I can play with that's the cheapest. You have the people that are the competitive players like me that want to play the cards that they buy in the highest rarity that they can afford. And then you got collectors that just don't care whatsoever. They don't care about the playability of the card. They're just going to buy the card because they like it no matter what. So if you find yourself wanting to invest in this card, just keep in mind all versions will generally go up if one of these versions goes up. Especially if it's related to competitive play, because, you know, a lot of people are going to want Zeus. Super rare Edge Imp Chains, we already talked about being like $15 to $18 there. 3 easiest at 17. We got one here at 16, and then it goes up. Like I said, I think it'll probably maintain the 15 to 20 range, you know, maybe bounce a little bit unless we see some really good tournament results with this being played as an engine like within branded, and then it probably would see another spike. Magnifica, we already talked about. Yatagarasu, I don't think that it's doing anything. Decode Talker Heat Soul, under $2.50 here. I would just say, just make sure you have it. Lightning Storm, sell these because we're getting a reprint and no one's really even playing them right now. Heavenly Prison, this goes along with everything else. If you're not playing this right now, just get rid of it because we're going to have reprints by the end of the summer, you know, like probably September. Brothers of Legend, I do think that this is a good long-term sealed, but I would not buy this to open. I think that's really dumb because the only card worth money is Forbidden Droplets. Well, there's two, the Forbidden Droplets and your Magician Souls, and both of those are getting reprint in the next 3 or 4 months, so it's just not worth it to open. Frenzy already talked about. Ready Fusion at 21 going, so this card is moving surprisingly. So I'm probably going to go ahead and list mine up and try to get rid of it. I did pull this out of the box. This is the box. I only opened one box of Dawn of Majesty. I did not get a branded opening. I only got one secret rare, which is Ready Fusion. It was just a terrible box, to be honest with you. So I just want to kind of milk some value out of this. If I can get rid of it for 23, I would be very happy. Do think this is a great long-term card to have, and I do think it'll probably bottom out at like $8 to $10 when we get a reprint, just because people are going to want the secret rare. But it's a good time to get rid of it if you want to wait for the reprint. Alibur at 40, that's really, really good. I would consider getting it if you wanted this version. I do think it'll probably, you know, maintain between 40 and 60. Just kind of depends on how many more people like want to pick up the highest rarity of the deck. We have Galaxy Soldier, says $1.10, but you know, got the $1 shipping. It's really around 2 to 220, which is not too bad there. Fair is maintaining. We're gonna see if anything else is really going crazy here, but I think we've kind of captured like most of the movements. Grand creators, what can you say? You know, just if you wanted to buy something sealed, I think your two greatest options, or we'll say three greatest options from the last year: Burst of Destiny first, Grand Creators maybe tied with Grand Creators maybe tied with your Ghosts from the Past. I do think Ghosts from the Past will do good long term, but right now, because there were so many Ghost Rares, and that said, the market is flooded, so it's going to take years for that, you know, to kind of dry up that supply. 1050, you know, nothing new here. Packs kind of come down a little bit because this was up towards 17 to 18 last time I checked. Warlord Savage 35. You know, the thing about this card is it's just less viable now, really, because you don't have that Auroradon, because you need to have a way to get a link monster in your graveyard. So if you're going into Hulk, there's nothing really else to link off into. As far as what I'm thinking, like, you know, of things that come to my mind, there's not really much to link your Hulk off into. At least that makes sense, so that you can equip your Hulk to this. But I'm sure it's not an unplayable card by any means, but I just don't think it's the greatest card in this format. But I do think it's a great card to have long term. 64 Infusion Destiny, like I said, I think it'll probably maintain between 50 and 65 for the coming future, and then, you know, it will spike in price over time because hero players are going to want this. So if you really wanted this card long term, you know, it's probably best not to even risk it and just go ahead and get it. Punisher, we talked about that. Borland Dragon, come scoop these really cheap copies here, because I just think that's a great card to have long term. Timaeus 37 here, no surprise. I think that it'll probably settle out around 35 to 40, you know, kind of where it's already in that slot now. Let's see, anything else? I bet you these are probably $10 for near mint. Ecclesia, you know, not really doing anything. I don't know why it's selling so much, honestly. Allure of Darkness, you know, still hovering around that $3 range for near mint. I still think if you can come get these at 210, that's really not too bad here. But you do have to imagine this card will probably settle out between $5 and $8 over time. So if you didn't get them at like 50 to 75 cents, you've kind of missed your big ticket there. But if you want them personally, I'd still think that's great to get them at. There's not a lot of hollow prints of this that are cheaper than $10, to be honest with you. Blackbeard at 20, that's insane. But to be honest with you, I really could not tell you when this card will get reprinted. It could be a very long time. The next chance would be if we have a gold rare set this year, which is not guaranteed. We do have that holiday box, so I don't know if that's going to replace the gold set this year. I really don't. I have no idea, but I imagine it's probably going to replace something. We do know we have the Battles of Legend, like Crystal Beast stuff, so that's not going to get replaced by the holiday box, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens there. Liquid Soldier at 112, get rid of this. This will be the biggest reprint card, you know, from this standpoint now in Legendary Duels Season 3. I just would not have these right now. It's not worth it. And that's just free money, in my opinion. We'll look through a little bit longer and see if we can see anything else here. But I think for the most part, you know, the market is kind of off the hinges right now. Sophia's at 10, makes sense. Emergence at $10. Wow. So if you pick these up when they were $3 or $4, you know, that was a long shot to see if it would go up in value, but not a bad time to sell them. Like I said, if you have the Sword Soul core and you're not going to play it before the Megatons, just get rid of it. There's no reason to hold on to it from this point on. Vishuda, you know, $2, $1.40, $1.50. I think it's a great card to have long term. I have mine, thankfully, and I got them for like 70 cents each. Let's see, moving on. El Dorado, you know, I'm kind of split because usually long-term sealed gold sets do pretty well, but the quality control of this is terrible, and there's really not that many cards in here that are good. And access code is extremely short printed. Verte is now banned, which was like the second best card in this set. This set's just not looking good sealed, really. Jet Dragon at 10 still, it's just going to maintain until it sees a reprint, probably, most likely. All right, what else? Yeah, these are going for $10 as well. So just go get your ultra rare. Like, I don't know why people are buying this. It's ridiculous. Michaelis at $9 here. Pretty good there. Seen some nice price increase. Rexterm start going back towards 5 here. It was down to like 350. Like I said, Thatch, like just go ahead and pick these up. I wouldn't wait any longer, to be honest with you. I think they're a good price now. You've already saved so much money from where I told you not to buy them from, which was, $30 each for the frenzies and $20 each for these. So, you save some money, just go ahead and pick it up. These are, still around $100. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole because the first time it gets a reprint, like, see ya. It's just not worth it. If they would have done this in Starlight, this would be worth so much money, but it's an ultra rare. And it's, to be honest with you, modern day ultra rares, they're just not the same quality as you see like in Turbo Pack ultra rares or some of the older ultra rares. It's a little disappointing on that front. Super Poly is still maintaining at that 9 range, not surprising. Like I said, if you bought a bunch of these when I told you to get them at 2 to 3, I think they're even like $2.20, probably something like that. I would just continue to offload these and just make sure you have a play set for yourself to play if you need them. But if not, just get rid of it altogether because this card's going to absolutely fall out when Brandon's not seeing play anymore. And I imagine we'll get hit pretty hard on the next ban list. It's going to be really scary when Spike comes out because I imagine we'll get a ban list sometime in the fall. And it's going to have to hit branded. So that just means that's going to make Flight that much better. It's just going to be really bad timing on that front because brand is really the only thing that could keep it somewhat in check. And it's still not much of a competition, to be honest. Whoa, so Bow the Goddess is at 18 to 20. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like it's been that way for a while. Like I said, hopefully you have the secret rares. And if you're going to buy a version today, I would still say just go get the secret rare at the 40 to 50 mark. But hopefully you bought them right when this card came out because you could get the first edition secrets for 20. I'll be holding on to that card forever, probably. Like I always end up playing it, a couple times a year, just depending on what deck I'm playing. And it's just a card that you're going to need. We're getting to a point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we've kind of maxed out on power. And we still have some power creep as far as like what archetypes are seeing play. But as far as the extra deck for these generic staples, they'll probably just never be phased out completely, especially for something like Appaloosa or even Dark, really, because Dark's really, really good. I think it is down a little bit in price here towards the 300 mark. It was like 325. So if you want it, just go ahead and get it. I do think long term this card will be join its sisters up at the 400 to 500 mark plus, because this is without a doubt the best one. But right now with us not having DPE, this lost a lot of power because that was like the biggest play is to steal this from your opponent. These are 650, so these have calmed down quite a bit. Like I said, if you're not playing this deck, I probably would just get rid of these before we get into the Megaton season. 400 on Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. These have fallen out quite a bit since these aren't seeing as much play. And Birthday's hit, so it's like if you're not playing branded, you have no potential way to make this except for just straight up normal, like drawing a Red Eyes Fusion, which you don't want to do. Like you don't want to play Red Eyes Fusion. It's terrible. And so if you're not playing Dark Magician, you're not playing Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, to be honest with you. If you want to play it in branded, you can make it happen. But like I said, I don't think that it's really turned out to be the most viable way to play branded. Nibs, $12. Yep, that's about where they've been, 12 to 13. Ice Dragon's Prison. I think this has really lost a ton of power with Verte being gone. Unfortunately, I think this card will always be pretty good. Like you don't want to not have access to this in your collection or staples binder, but it's just not as good as it was with Verte being in the game, being able to get rid of that. Okay, let's see anything else. Albion 18, 16 to 18 here. Kid Yu-Gi-Oh, like I said, one of the best sellers I've dealt with recently. Really like them. So if you want to get it an ultra rare, that's fine. But like I said before, I don't know that it's worth paying, $16 more than what you would pay for a common, especially if you've already bought the structure decks and you have access to 3 copies of these. It's just not worth it. Tragedy at 70 cents here, going up to $1.50. Ecclesia at 47 low. Honestly, that's really, really good. I would just go ahead and get this. I don't know if it'll go much lower than this at this point. It's a good card to have in your binder. It's got the waifu aspect to it. It's a classic card that's still playable, pretty good. Hopefully they'll bring back Nadir to 3. I just don't think that it was really worth hitting Nadir to 2. There was a period of time when a lot of decks were hit and we didn't have anything new that was very powerful. And so Invoke Dogmatica was very powerful, but now Invoke Dogmatica is just like tier 2, even if they brought Nadir back to 3. So I don't know why they didn't let us have that back. Access Code Talker at 105. You know, I think it's worth having at that price. Toads, $12 here. And actually, we're going to go ahead and skip out on this best-selling list and go check out the secret rare toads, because I think that that's worth looking at, really. Megaton, $30 here, not bad. And the original is 32 for unlimited. We'll see what first edition is going for. At $30, I think it's probably worth it, because when Splight comes out, this card will be ridiculously expensive. Light Blade, near mint, first edition. Not a lot of these in the market. So $40 going up to $40. Yeah, it might be worth it just to pay the extra 10 and get yourself a first edition. This was like 50 to 60, I think, when the initial buyout happened. So if you want it, just go ahead and get it. It's still showing the first edition market price at 23 here, so it must not be selling too often. A little weird that the market price is so low. But that's all I have for you today, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It really helps me out. But I will see you guys later this week with some more content. Thanks for showing up. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.